Coffee and we're
So,
coffee drinkers and smokers
yeah,
here, I
sorry.
see.
Like I said, I'm a very good morning person. But I'm starting to wake up here. So just start by telling me a little bit about yourself because I don't. This is the first time we've ever met. I think it's pretty interesting. But so who are you? What are you about?
My name is Dyanna. I am a medical marijuana advocate, which really I'm just like knowledge for the people. I started my company about a year ago, a little over a year ago, because I was like doing it for free anyways. So I'm a free education center, which is just perfect for me because I love teaching people. It's probably a favorite part of my job. Um, and really, I mean, that's about it. My job's pretty basic.
Yeah.
I mean, I talk to people. I was on the phone with this guy the other day and I had to like double check because I kept feeling like I was talking to my grandfather. And I'm like, no, this is definitely not my grandfather. I'm like, you sound just like my grandfather. But when I can help people like that want the information, and we only have the one education center and it's in the strip district. So I think the most fun is teaching the older people and helping them get through this.
That's excellent because those people probably don't like have the access or means to get that information in a manner that is accessible to them.
Right. And so, like, I register them with the state. I'll make their appointment. I do their intake form for them. If they prefer to do it themselves, then they can.
But yeah, that's good that you have that option or they have that
Hmm.
option.
Yeah. And then I just keep on, like, I'm with them. Even if they don't want to see the doctor, that's fine. Because, again, I'm free. So they can call me anytime. And if they're like, well, I don't know, I'll call you back, I could hear from them 6 months later. And they're like, okay, we decided.
Hmm.
And I'll do the caretaker stuff too, but I can only go so far with the caretaker stuff because they have to, with the state legally, I can't go and get fingerprinted for them. So, and because a lot of the older people, they have caretakers.
Oh,
So, but when it, so when it's, if you have a medical marijuana card, you can't be a caretaker for somebody else. So I set up, like, I'll register them the same way I would register a patient.
and when you say
Um,
caretaker, do you mean like legal, like
yeah, like a legal guardian, or, say you take care of your dad, you're the only one that takes care of him, and he doesn't drive or he needs rides places, you
right?
can, you would be able to. So let's do it this way. Say your grandmother has her medical card, but now just recently she stopped driving. So she's going to need either A, somebody to take her, or two, somebody to stop there. So if you are a caretaker, you can go right into the dispensary and pick them up for that person. Just like a regular pharmacy, we're just called a dispensary.
I mean, different industry, different terms, I suppose.
Hmm.
Um, so you get income from this, from
Yes,
doing this.
yes, I partnered up with two doctors, Dr. Tony DeCicero and Dr. K.R. Patel.
Excellent.
And from the Whitehall Health and Spa Center is where Tony is located, and then Patel is a PCP. So
That is very cool. Like such a cool job that has is been created by this industry and opening up opportunities for so many different people. That's really cool stuff. I really enjoy that.
yes, me too. And like, I mean, it's funny because, when you talk to people, it is like, I mean, there's no in between. You either are 100% for medical marijuana or you're 100% against it until that time comes where you have no other solution. So this is your last try. And so
Wait,
for
you mean like
me,
a last chance? Like, okay, I can find nothing else to soothe my chronic pain or whatever the thing is. Let's try marijuana.
yes, exactly. which blows my mind. But a
Yeah.
lot of people,
It's insane.
you would not be surprised how many people are like afraid to even tell their doctor, because a lot of PCPs are like, no, we don't agree with that. Hold on, that's illegal. You're a doctor. You're supposed to be helping these people.
Right.
And so like even with both my grandmothers, I got them their license, and my pap is my grandmother's caregiver. So because I had gotten her CBD lotion from the mall, because of course I can't get stuff for other people. And she loved it. And she called me like 7 days later and she was like, D, I don't know what this magic stuff is. She goes, but I put it all over my hands and on my feet and on my knees. So I was calling to find out, can I overdose on CBD? And I was like, no, Graham, that is not possible. So that's what ended up, because she's a cancer patient. And then I had my father scheduled, but he ended up passing away before he had his appointment. So
very sorry.
Oh, that's all right. We were prepared. So it wasn't like just, all of a sudden he was gone. We all had time, because I have 6 brothers and sisters. So
very cool. Very cool.
Unfortunately, they're not all for my business, but to each their own.
The amount of money that's coming in from this business is substantial. So yes. I think you're doing the right thing.
And that's why, and even my doctor said, he was like, you offer so much, because people will be like, well, what do we owe you? And I'm like, nothing. You don't owe me nothing. Even if you see the doctor and you qualify, then yes, the doctor has to pay me. But if you don't qualify, that doesn't affect me in any sense of the way. Or if you decide, well, you had your appointment, but you need a couple weeks to decide if you're going to go ahead through with it, which is fine. And we don't pressure anybody into getting it or keeping it or anything like that. I mean, I have people that, honest to God, I've probably been on the phone with for 2 hours as I scheduled them about their problems. I send them all like a little envelope, and it has a quick fact sheet on marijuana. It has a cannabis log sheet, a local list of dispensaries, the dispensary intake form, so that they're able to go right into the dispensary and be like, nope, I'm done. I don't have to do that intake.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I teach them how to order on
the process.
Yes, and ordering online has been beautiful. So, but it's just unfortunate for those who don't have the internet, and then they gotta, can their kids figure it out? And, because they're not nobody's too tech savvy that I work with, you know what I mean? Or help. They're usually.
And at this point, that's not even your roadblock. I feel like the technology is there and easily accessible, but people are afraid to use it.
And I didn't even me, and people were like, it's just so much work. I thought the same thing. And I've been a patient for almost 4 years. And I forget where I was going with that. That happens to me a lot.
It's okay. Yeah, me too.
I know there's going to be a part of the show where I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't even know where I was going with that.
Because they're afraid we've as a culture been groomed to believe that marijuana is bad, CBD is bad, this is bad. Yes. It's still a Schedule 1 drug.
It's a gateway drug, don't forget.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, let's not go there yet. Let's not go there. Let's start. So, that was my first question for you. I'm someone in pain. I specifically have anxiety.
Me too.
Would, if I would ever get a card, would get it for that reason. What's the process? Where do I go from here?
If you call me?
Yeah, just act like I'm a customer right now.
Okay.
I was like, hey, Dyanna, I just want to, what's this all about?
I picked your card up and,
Yeah.
So I explained to them what exactly that they are doing and word for word. So what I need from them always is I get from them an active email, and I have to have a picture of an active ID or driver's license, so it can't be expired. So they send me this stuff. I register them with the state, which is actually why it took me so long, because I'm like, well, what do you mean? It took me forever to figure out how to register myself. Well, then, you have to call the state and they're like, well, everything has to be in capital letters. And it's like, seriously, like if you live on East Eastbrook Road, just for example, that E, if it has a dot for PennDOT and it doesn't have it on their driver's license, I have to punch it in like 100 times because it's so specific.
Mm-hmm.
So I do that. They end up getting an email from the state that says that, you are now registered, and it gives them their patient number and all that. And it will tell them when their card comes. So I like to have that done before they even see the doctor. That way I can say their intake's done. They're good to go. They're registered. And then after they see the doctor, it takes about 24 to 48 hours, which is usually 24, when you get the email from the state saying you are now able to pay for your card, because there's two different fees. You have your doctor's fee, and then you have the state fee. Now, the doctor's fee, of course, we can work with. However, the state fee, we can't do anything about. So sometimes I'll offer, people that, I don't have the means, and I know that, it is expensive. I mean, I know, been there. So sometimes I'll offer to pay for their registration, which is $50 unless you are a veteran or get any kind of SNAP benefits.
Is
then it's only $25.
The doctor fee?
No, yes. That's for the state. Yeah.
How much is that?
It's normally $50, but if you are a veteran or get any kind of SNAP benefits, it doesn't matter. You don't even have to tell me. I could care less, because this is going to be the patient going into their site that I made them. And then they'll go and click make my payment, and then there's a tiny, tiny little square at the bottom. And people tend to miss that every time. So that's why I'm like real specific. Listen, if you're a veteran or you get SNAP benefits, click the box. Don't just scroll down and be like, okay, pay now. Because the doctor fee is $250. Granted, it is for the year. We don't do that every 6 month stuff. So, which is a little bit ridiculous to me, but 6 months. You do have to renew it every single year.
Every 6 or biannual.
Yes. So as long as, like what happened
is that the only other variation? Because it's like, this is so new. This is not regulated. They're going to do whatever they want. Or I mean, like they're within their ability. So like some people could offer every 6 months or a year.
Right.
Is there any other options? Does anyone else do anything else?
Not that I've seen. I mean, it was 2 places that were doing that. But here, the one place was like, oh, it's $100 for the year. And then 6 months comes along and they're walking into the dispensary and they can't get in. I got turned away actually this year. And my license wasn't expired for another month. And I walked into Delta and they're like, well, it says you're not active. And I'm like looking at the date. I'm going on my website. I'm like, it's like I still have a month to go.
Right.
So here it didn't matter if I saw the doctor or not. All I had to do was go onto the state website and pay the fee. So really, you're letting me pay the fee before I see the doctor. It's different this year. So nobody even knew. So I ended up getting kicked out of the dispensary. So I started emailing all of my patients. I'm like, hey, as soon as you get that state email that says you can renew your license, I go in and pay. Just go into the website, pay the $50 or the $25, whichever one they qualify for. And then they're okay. So because I had one of my patients who's actually was a really good friend of mine in high school, and he goes, yo, I had my doctor's appointment. And I go, yeah. He's like, my card's still expired. And I go, did you go on the state website and pay for the card? And he was like, oh no. I'm like, but you saw the doctor. And I know he did because I scheduled him.
Yeah.
And which is it blows your mind because it's, everybody that I know hasn't obviously gotten their license off of me, being I just started about a year and a half ago. Actually, yeah, it's been about exactly a year and a half. And I ended up getting into it. Actually, do you know Gina? I think her last name is pronounced Fesling, and she does, she is the editor of Sensi magazine.
No.
Okay, well, that's actually how I got into it. And I met her at the dispensary, and I was working with a good friend of mine who also had started her company. So, really, in reality, I kind of just watched and listened and got my LLC. That was beautiful, fantastic. And I mean, I'm sure you can assume me and that girl are no longer friends, but I was doing it for free anyway. So, like, to me, I don't care if you see the doctor or not. I mean, I'm not losing anything. So, and they can call me. I love when they call me. I have this one patient, honest to God, he has taught me so much. And I like his passion for it is just as much as mine is. So when you get people like that and they're like, dude, did you try this? Or do you know what this is? Like this sugar leaf came out and I'm like, what? And here to find out, all it was the leaves just covered in crystals. Like, no, that lasted for maybe a whole 3 weeks from the dispensary and then it was gone. I mean, and then I have yet to try the caviar yet because everybody says it's pretty potent and I'm little, so.
I actually I have heard of it. Is it like it comes in a weird case or something, right? And it's like this little tiny piece.
Yeah, it's like one little bud and you're like, what am I going to do with this?
Yeah, then you go to the moon.
I mean, maybe I'm like, I get real, like I was, like when the RSO and stuff came out, which granted, I made my own foods before that, but I knew, exactly, I weighed my cookies out. And then when they came out with the RSO, which made it so much easier, but you have to tell people like one little drop can really knock you on your ass, depending on, how heavy you are, how tolerant you are. And they do tell you to switch off, like say you're just a flower user because you can't smoke. It is illegal to smoke any kind of flower. So no joints, no bowls, no blunts. Yes, that is illegal. Yes. Even if you are a medical patient, if you are found in your car, so if you get pulled over, regardless if you have that license or not, most state cops, it's state regulated. So they're not even going to waste their time with doing the paperwork. But if you get an asshole who doesn't agree with it, I mean, they still legally, they're cops. So, so there's like a lot of things.
Well, I think there's what's so cool about this is there's like, do you watch any mainstream news?
Sometimes not. I try not to because it makes me too anxious. And then I gotta like, vaping while I'm watching. I'm like, I can't even listen to this garbage because it's,
it is garbage.
It is. And it's like, I don't know what to believe anyway. So.
Well, regardless, the mainstream trash that they're cycling through I've never seen so much pro marijuana rhetoric ever.
No,
I mean, there's never been a different time for like pro speech about marijuana, and it's taking the right steps to get rid of people like myself being afraid to admit that they use marijuana because of this stigma.
Yes, and it really is. Actually, here's a story for that one. I was at Sunnyside in the Strip District, and it was when COVID started, so there was a huge ass line outside. And I'm like, man, I'm not used to waiting in a line, and it's outside. Well,
yeah, so that everybody can see you. Yeah, that's nice.
Yes, and there were these two older ladies. And you could tell one of them was very judgmental and the other one was kind of like, oh, whatever, it's their thing. And she goes, if we didn't have a bunch of people like this getting high in our city, we wouldn't have to worry about it. And here's me, because at that time, I didn't have a business and I was pretty defensive. I'm like, I'm sorry, excuse yourself?
Yeah, right.
I'm not a junkie that you're seeing shooting up on the street. I go, and maybe this medicine helps me from acting like a psycho. You don't know that. Who are you to judge? I'm not judging you if you're on Xanax or painkillers, or I'm not judging you. What gives you the right to judge me? And even like the first thing I tell people is I'm a medical marijuana patient. Like if I am applying for a job or whatever, because I'm a mover and I like to be active. So if I'm promoting, it's outside. Like this whole web shit, I'm not real good at that. But as far as like me, I want to be around the people. I want them to see what it is, what it's like, and explain it to them. And it is so amazing how I went to the Grove City outlets last Friday, and I'm thinking, how am I going to get back on my game and start promoting? COVID's been here, I haven't been out in forever. So I'm like, I was just watching and I'm like, I got it. So I started complimenting on women's dresses, shoes, whatever.
I got
We
it.
break the ice. You know what I mean? That's an icebreaker. So I'm like, oh, those are really cute pants. And the lady got so excited.
Oh, wait, are you talking like in person? You're just walking around Grove City?
At the outlets. I do it at the Strip District, Lawrenceville. I go.
Good for you. That's really cool. I love it. Really organic, good old fashioned
work.
Yeah. Work. Yeah.
So really, I am on my feet most of the time. But like, sometimes it's like you're not busy. Sometimes you are. So for me, I like to try to even work anywhere for 2 days.
Yeah, sorry. So keep going with that story. So like you comment on this lady's pants.
Yes. Yeah, so I commented on this lady's pants. She got so excited and she goes, hold on, you got to see. And she unzips her jacket and she goes, it was a set. And so, immediately you're like, oh, girl. And she goes, and I go, well, since we broke the ice.
Yeah, right.
I'm a medical marijuana advocate and I'm having an event in Greensburg. And they both went, wait, medical marijuana? They go, we just moved from Phoenix. And I go, well, do you guys have your PA address? Yep. She goes, hold on. She goes, don't even go anywhere. Let me just text you right now. And I want you to text me the event while I'm standing next to you. I'm like, okay.
Right.
And it does help to be a friendly person, but you kind of get that vibe for somebody. Like, I wouldn't just go up and ask anybody, hey, you want to get your medical marijuana card? But if I can break the ice with somebody, and the reason I even went to the outlets was, yes, one, to promote, but two, I wanted to find some sponsors for my event.
There's some good stuff. There's some good stuff up there.
Yes. And I hadn't been there in forever. So I'm like, let's go do this. And so I actually have gotten a good bit of calls, and I am hopefully going to have Rise pharmacists come to my event. So I'm still waiting on that.
Did you say that again? You
Rise, the people at Rise. I'm waiting for them to see if they're going to sponsor my event. I mean, they're going to sponsor it, but I want them to come and be there. Like somebody, even one of the pharmacists, doesn't matter.
Now, I'm just ignorant to it. Rise they produce a marijuana.
They're a pharmacy. Yeah.
Yeah. Or a pharmacy. Okay.
Yeah. That's the easiest way to explain it to people, because yes, it's a medical marijuana dispensary, but my pharmacy is the same as your pharmacy, except I'm not killing myself with all these pills.
No one's dying from my
right? I can't overdose on marijuana. And I don't know if this has ever been. I have a bonus daughter who's 15, but she's my baby, so she's still my dog. Yeah. I got lucky in life and ended up with a bonus 15-year-old girl, which is totally different.
I don't think the words bonus, lucky in life, and 15-year-old girl have ever gone in the same sentence.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
Yeah, I have 3 daughters. It's great that Rise is sponsoring your event. I think it would be an even bigger statement if they would show up to your event.
Right. And then I even got a hold of Fetterman, because he's very pro marijuana.
Oh, is that the dude that's running for Senate now? Or the dude from
Plum? That would be, oh shit, what is his name? Fetter, and I can't even remember his name.
Yeah, the local guy. That's kicking ass. Like,
yes.
Quite frankly.
Right. Because they're very pro marijuana, so I just kind of sent them an email, if you'll support this event, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm waiting to hear back from them. And who else?
What was the date in August that you said?
August 12th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And yeah, me and my, again, bonus daughter, we went there the other day to hang some posters. And like, we were looking around and like, we both looked at each other and we go, I don't think this place is going to be big enough. So, because I mean, I wasn't like, I don't think I really expected it to get like huge, but I wasn't trying to set myself up for a letdown either.
Right.
And I had went to the Westmoreland Mall. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but there's a vape shop in there. And so I went in there to see if they would sponsor me. That's much
better, yeah.
And not on top of that. So yes, he will sponsor me. But he goes, do you think you can pull off an event before this one? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe 2 weeks from my event. And his place is huge. Like,
yeah, he's got a lot of space. I don't know. I don't know the guy, but I know that there's a lot of effing room in there.
Yes. And I'm like,
it's not used.
No. And he's like, well, don't I have to have like a license for that or something? I'm like, no, I'm an education center. You're not charging anybody. I'm not charging anybody. So just like at the Up and Smoke vape store. Yes, you have to be 21 and older to buy any of their tobacco products and whatnot. UIS vape store. That's where I got your card.
Yeah.
You were the only one that knew what I was talking about when I say UIS, and everybody else I say it to goes Up and Smoke. So you were the first one I said Up and Smoke for, and you were like, so.
I knew I heard it. I just.
I'm like, your business cards were there. He said that we
You've
literally
been there.
walked. Yes, he said you two literally walked right by each other. I'm like, we did? So you must have come in right after I was leaving and I dropped my cards off.
Oh, shit. Wow.
Yeah. Because I was like, I was just here. He goes, so was he. I was like, okay. And Sean, the owner of UIS, he is also sponsoring the event. And because it is an education event and you only have to be 18 for a medical marijuana, in there, like as soon as you walk in, which you know what it looks like, and it has all your vape oils and your disposables and whatever and whatnot. So you have to be 21 for that. So, but the downfall is like you can still be 18 and go in there and buy their tobacco pipes and their tobacco bongs, you know what I mean? Because you only have to be 18. So I wasn't sure, can I bring somebody under the age, like my son, my daughter, can they come here and help? Like, you know what I mean? Take down names, make sure people have what they need. If they need help with their intake, whatever. And he's like, yeah, they can, if it's volunteering, it's education. He said, absolutely. He said, the rules kind of change when it's education and I'm not selling anything. So I am going to do some raffles though. Those should be fun.
Like a Chinese auction or?
Yeah. So everybody that sponsored my event, that's what they did. They threw something in from their company. So then that way, and they're not obligated to promote me at all.
Right.
They don't even have to put my cards out. I'm just asking for people to sponsor me to really give themselves free promotion in reality.
Yeah. So where is it going to be?
What do you mean?
Is it still, did you change from UIS?
No.
Still currently there?
Yeah, I would never do that to them. Ken is so excited. And he did. He worked. He was like, I got a little leeway. Let me talk to Sean, the owner, and see what we can do. And then he called me 2 days later. He's like, you got the spot. And I was like, what? So he's like super excited. I'm super excited. This is their first event. And now that vape store closed across the street, which I did not know about,
for renovations, right?
That's what I thought. Yes, that's what I thought I read on there. So, but once you start taking customers and they get used to you.
No. So, sorry. There's no way that the sign said renovations. That place is coming back. Like
I mean, I don't know. He just told me they were closed, but that's what I thought I saw the sign say for renovations.
I was thinking that too. I was like, imagine all the people that are just funneling over there right now.
Oh,
Because
he said
that side of the highway, I'm pretty sure that's the reason he loses. Most any business that he loses comes from the sheer fact that they have to walk across the street.
Unless, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Because that's what I mean. Honestly, I'm sorry, my dude. But I'm talking to that. What's his name, Sean or
Ken? Ken. Sean is the owner. Ken is the manager.
It's just like it's the convenience. But anyway,
see, that's funny you say that because I always park on the left side. Always, because I like to challenge myself and try. Yeah,
I was gonna say you must be a risk taker then.
I am. I mean, I wouldn't jump off a cliff or anything. I'm not that risky, but
right. Okay. I'm thinking of a different conversation. Let's stay on task. Okay. So people get in touch with you. You help them with the paperwork. You facilitate whatever it is they need to get their card, get in touch with the right people, making the appointments.
Yeah. And I will even meet them at the dispensary for their first time.
Oh, that's very nice.
Well, because they got to have some kind of guide. Like I said, there isn't an education center at every dispensary. All you have to work with are the pharmacists. And if they're busy, then we as patients feel like, are we keeping this person for too long? Do these people need to come up? But they're not like that. We will spend as much time with you as you need. And especially with Rise, like and I hate saying this because every dispensary deserves their props. But as far as Sunnyside and the Strip District, I actually took them off my local list of dispensaries. The one in Butler, fine. But the one down the Strip District, nope, I took them off my local list.
Where are you from? Just curious.
I'm from Newcastle, but I've been in Pittsburgh the last 11 years, and I moved to Greensburg about a year ago.
Okay. Cool.
What about you?
Irwin, North Huntington for 20, and then I've been in Greensburg for 10.
So then you like Greensburg?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Everything is walking distance.
Right. I mean, and that's true. So,
and I live right next to the dispensary, so I mean, it really couldn't get any better.
Do you have another job?
No, this is what I do. I mean, I did during the winter and COVID just because I couldn't get out and promote. So It was really just people that picked up my cards. So, but then when summer hit, which I know this is the time for everybody, and I had emailed my doctor and I said, listen, I need you to close the office for Tuesdays and Thursdays and just have it for my patients. And they were like, okay, we can do that, because they don't have to go into the office and they don't even have to do it video, because you think a lot of older people, like I'm still dealing with people that only have landlines. Right. So they're like, wait, video? How do I do that? Okay, well, I'm going to see if my daughter can come, or you know what I mean? So,
right.
And with it being a simple phone call and doesn't last longer than 10 minutes, they already have their records in, and people don't have to worry about their doctors finding out, because we request your medical information from Whitehall Health and Spa Center.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it doesn't say medical marijuana on there, because a lot of people are afraid for their PCP to know, which blows my mind.
Again, back to the culture of it.
Mm-hmm.
This stigma.
It's crazy.
It's so sad.
And we have, like, what the hell? We have an opiate addiction going on in the whole freaking country, and we would rather give them test strips to make sure their heroin isn't laced, instead of saying, let's help you and give you a medical marijuana license.
Right. Would you support opiate use stations? Like places?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would not. If I can get somebody off painkillers, I'm probably more determined, because you can't. And even people that don't know, like, they'll see it. Oh yeah, addiction. Oh, it's not possible for me, till your doctor cuts you off.
Have you seen any of, like, any of that stuff over in Europe?
No.
All right. Well, it's just the fact of the matter is we're already Narcaning people at an exuberant, like an extraordinarily high rate.
Right.
I think it would make more sense at a logistical standpoint to know where these fucking people are.
Right.
Because, I mean, give them a safe spot. Yeah, they're going to fucking ruin their bodies and ruin themselves and damn near kill themselves. Might as well, we know where they are. We can address it, give them the help that they need, and not just treat it as a criminal problem. Because it's not. It's a mental thing.
It is. I'm so glad you said that. That is very, very true. And I even say that to my son all the time. Dude, the mind is a powerful thing. So if you go into something going, I'm not going to like this, you're not going to like it. But if you go in there with an open mind, you might surprise yourself.
Right.
And so, like, and I wanted to work at the education center, like, badly. But it rubbed me the wrong way after a few times bringing my patients in there, because it was like everybody just zooms to you, almost like a strip club. You know how all the girls just kind of zoom to you?
Yeah,
because you know, we got to be the first one to get you in and see the doctor. Yes, and it's like honestly, like they're just like boom, and you're like so overwhelmed, and they're like, here, well, we can register you right here, and people are like, what the hell is going on? Instead of slowly explaining the process or having them, okay, you do want to register, well, we can do that for you if you'd like to come over here. But then they leave you by yourself to figure out what you were supposed to be helping them with. Like, because mind you, somebody else comes in that door, we got to go right back. And it's too much pressure. They pressure people to see the doctor. They pressure them to hurry up and move. Me, I'm like, you don't want it, you don't want it. Right. I don't care. I'm just trying to help you. And so I had ended up on my car, I put on both my windows, I put MMJ card and then my number. That was probably one of the most clever ideas I've ever had. Because clever. The very first day I had it on, I pulled up to my mom's house and the neighbor comes over. She goes, this is for a medical marijuana card, correct? And I go, yes. She goes, can I have your card?
Did she have her like that?
Yes, she did, because she takes care of her father. And she does. But she also has like a little bit of a hip problem, so maybe that's why. Okay. But she had
not just
moved.
Attitude.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I know. And here she's like, well, I need one for me and my dad. My address is being changed now. And so being the person that I am, and I hate, it is expensive. $250 is a lot of money. And she could be his caregiver. So in reality, I'm sure you're picking up what I'm putting down, but at the same time, from a legal aspect, I can't do that. But to me, I don't know. For me, if I had somebody that I needed to take care of, but I knew that I needed my license, I know that, like, if my dad would have asked me to be his caretaker, I would have given up my license to be his caretaker. And I'd have been able to get him through it. And so I actually had a patient the other day, like I was telling you at the beginning, and his name's Kevin, sweet guy. Well, his daughter was going to be a caretaker, and she goes, well, what's the process? Because they have to go and get fingerprinted and have a background check to be a caretaker. And they also have to pay for their card to come in. And she was like, I'm like, well, if you're his caretaker, you know, he's not able to get out, you know, you can be his caretaker. And she was like, yeah, let's do that. And then she texted me the other day. She goes, do we have to do this right now? Or can we wait till he's really not able to go to the dispensary? And I said, whatever you want to do, whatever. And I said, but yeah, we can wait. You don't have to be his caregiver right now, which in reality is probably smart on her part to wait, save the money, because they have to renew every year just like we do. Yes.
Yeah.
And then when the recreational comes, as far as I'm understanding as of now, is even if we do become a recreational state, you can still see the doctor. So for people that have their license and see the doctor, we're getting medical grade stuff.
Okay,
the
good.
people
Yeah,
that don't
because
have a license aren't getting medical grade.
that's what I think is a big portion that people don't see, because there's a difference. There's extremely high concentrates for
Yep.
certain patients that need an extremely high dosage of the cannabinoids.
Either way, but
it,
people pronounce it both ways, so you're good.
It's disgusting that there could be a myth that marijuana has no medical benefits when there
clearly
videos
are
on YouTube of these patients who are having severe seizures and muscle spasms,
and these kids
nothing.
and
children.
It's like, but no, it's not. Doesn't really help.
And then,
my anxiety was insane, and I would probably still be on Xanax if it wasn't for my medical card. And me personally, I mean, I would rather somebody come to work on their medical than have somebody nodding off on their Xanax.